Hello, learners. Welcome to our session today. I am your instructor, CPA Ringo Frederick. Today is a continuation of what we've been doing. Remember in our last class, my good students, we were looking at decision and making, and of course, the last time we looked at the types of decisions. So in our class today, I'll let us talk about decision-making process, a very important concept that you should also be able to understand. And this decision-making process, remember, is not only for the purpose of exams. You'll find that in our day-to-day activities, we normally tend to find ourselves making various decisions. And in that case, I'll let us talk about the decision-making process, what it entails, and what you're supposed to follow. So talk about decision-making process. Decision-making process, decision-making process. It is a very important concept that we all should be able to understand, and you will find that it will be able to assist us a lot. So my good students, anytime you're talking about decision-making process, take it on your own case. You want to go and purchase a particular item. Say for example, like in this case, you want to go and purchase a very nice vehicle. Say you want to go and maybe you want to evolve to EV, right? So at this point, you'll find that the first decision that you're going to do, or rather the first step, of course, is to identify the decision. You want to purchase an, that is of course, an EV, right? So in purchasing this EV, that is a decision that you're making, the first decision that you're going to make. After you make that decision, which is the first step, you identify the decision. The other key element, you'll find that I'm going to look at the options. In that, I'm going to look at, let's say, not even option per se. First of all, the relevant information in relation to what? In relation to EV. So you say that the first step in making our decision, which I'm explaining it in this manner, actually you can just put it down here. We say that I want to make a decision of purchasing an electric vehicle, right? So the first thing that we said, of course, that decision is identify the decision. You identify the decision. The first decision is I want to go and purchase an EV. That's the decision that you're making. The second step, of course, is to gather relevant information in relation to this decision that you want to take. Say, for example, if I purchased an electric vehicle, I'm in Kenya, where will I be charging this? Suppose I want to, I'm traveling, say, like within jurisdiction of Kenya. Do you have stations where I can charge my car? In this other case, do I have to kind of, what will it come with? In this case, talk about the number of mileage, in that how long can I travel before I consume all the power in this vehicle? Other case, what will be in the event that probably the power kind of has just cut while I'm in the middle of nowhere? Can I kind of charge my motor vehicle with a generator? Should I be kind of working with generator anywhere we are going? So these are relevant information that you're gathering, right? So step number 2, we are talking about what? Relevant information. Gather relevant information. Gather relevant information. Gather relevant information. Of course, I'm going to explain this also on a business perspective. Then after I've gathered all the information, whatever I'm requiring to do, the other step, of course, will be to identify the alternatives. I need to identify the alternatives. So we are talking about identify the alternatives. Identify the alternatives. Identifying the alternatives, I'll see that probably the leading EV that we have, probably I'm having Tesla. Talking of Tesla, maybe I can talk of maybe also GM. They do some bit of electric vehicle. In this case, I can consider looking at that point. Maybe I'm having aspect of talk about maybe I'm having BM. They are coming up with an electric vehicle or electric cars. Maybe I can also consider maybe you have Mercedes-Benz. Also, in this case, they are coming up with this. And of course, as I normally tend to say that, the car in front of you is always a Toyota. Do they have EV? So these are what basically what we are kind of what we'll be considering. So I'm looking at these alternatives. I'm having Toyota. I'm having Mercedes. We do have Tesla. We have General Motors, we do have BMW. So in this case, I need to select, in this case, these are alternatives. These are alternatives that we're doing what? These are alternatives that we are identifying. These are alternatives that we are identifying. Alternatives that we are identifying. Now, after we have talked of the alternatives, also another key element will be for us, of course, to consider is to select, of course, the best alternative that we can, rather than even selecting the best alternative, you'll find that I'm going to weigh the evidence. Basically, weighing the evidence, Mwalimu is trying to say, talk about weighing the evidence, which I'm just explaining it right now. So, number 4, we are saying that we should weigh the evidence. Basically, weighing the evidence, what do we mean? In this case, my good students will find that how good is Tesla compared to GM? How good is Tesla compared to maybe Mercedes-Benz? How good is Tesla compared to this element and this element? So basically, whatever that we are doing here, what we are looking at, we are weighing the evidence in relation to this. You are weighing the evidence in relation to this. And also, of course, maybe in addition to the same, you'll also find that at the same time, I'll be looking at aspect of prices. Tesla, how much is it going for? If it is a GM, how much is it going for? If it is aspect to do with BMW, how much is it going for? So basically, whatever that you're doing here, we are kind of weighing the evidence. We are kind of looking at what will make me to select this and not this, depending with, of course, depending with your interest of what you want to achieve. Now, the moment you've done like that, you'll find that the other step will be for us to choose the alternatives. After weighing the evidence, we are going now to choose the alternatives. You're going now to choose the alternatives. You're going to choose the alternatives. Choose the alternatives. Choose the alternatives. Choose the alternative, or rather choose among the alternatives. Choose among the alternatives. Now I've weighed, I've seen that probably Tesla is going for this much. The advantage of having Tesla probably is that it has a high-tech aspect of features compared to the other EVs that I want to purchase. Maybe in this case is aspect of self-driven. At times, probably I'm tired. I can just put autopilot, then just kind of self-driven car. So basically, we'll be looking at, I'm choosing whatever that we've selected based on the taste that I want. So in this case, I'll say that in this case, I'll choose, say, I'm going to go with Tesla. I'm going to go with Tesla. I'm going to go with Tesla. Then on the same case, you'll find that after I have chosen among the alternatives, now I'm going to take action. Take action, that is to say, I'm going to purchase Tesla vehicle. I've chosen Tesla, so I'm going to purchase Tesla. So this is the case. We are talking what? We are talking about taking action. Then number 7, of course, we'll be talking about, we review our decision. Review decision. Review the decision. Review decision. After I have chosen Tesla and I've gone ahead and purchased a Tesla, maybe depending with the model that I purchased, Model X, Model Y, depending on the model that we purchased. So you'll find that at that point, now I'm going to review the decision that I had selected. Now I'm having this Tesla. How is it performing? Is it the way I was expecting? In this case, I'm having this car. Is it kind of going to the mileage that I was expecting? So I'm kind of reviewing the decision that I've made. So you'll find that basically just with that simple concept, now relate it on a business perspective. You'll find that decisions are always made daily in the organization. And making these decisions daily in the organization, of course, the same process will be kind of the same process, of course, you're going to face. Say, for example, another case, you can also take this good example. I want to do some recruitment. The organization or the management has decided that we want a finance analyst in our firm. So what are we going to do? The first decision that you are saying, or rather what you are going to do, is to identify the decision, and the decision is to look at the financial analyst. We want to look for the financial analyst. So that is, of course, what I've decided as an organization, what we've decided as an organization. The second step will be, I'm going to kind of advertise this offer, or rather this opportunity to the public. So that in advertising this opportunity to the public, of course, everyone will see, meaning that I'll be gathering information from whoever that will feel it in that position. Then, of course, in that case, people will be sending their CVs, right? People will be sending their CVs all over, from all over. Of course, the qualified people will be sending their CVs, depending on the job description that I had set in place. After that case, now it is on the HR to look at these CVs, in that these are what you had said. Has this person qualified for this? Do this person have the required requirements that we had kind of maybe placed on the advertisement? If it is, of course, they're using tech, because nowadays you have tech which can filter these CVs based on the requirements. So you'll find that they are going to be filtered. Now, on whatever that I have remained with, in this case, you'll find that also, after I've done all this, after filter, of course, I'm going to what? I'm going to kind of invite these guys to the interview, right? So inviting these guys to the interview, that is a part of weighing the evidence. Now, these guys, we've done the interview for them, is upon us. We've seen that, yeah, this guy is very good, but he lacks emotional quotient, or rather he lacks EQ. He has a very good IQ, but he lacks probably Q. This other person is very good, but in this case, we kind of feel that probably he needs to grow up. This other person, maybe we feel that, yes, he was very good, but the quotation, whatever that he was quoting was very high. So in that case, we are choosing amongst the alternatives. Now, we will settle for one person. In that case, you're going to take an action and kind of invite this person for this job offer. So after we've invited this guy, of course, I'm going to take him through some of the aspect of in that induction and all that. From there on, you'll find that the last bit, I'm going to review the performance. And that's why you are normally given a probation of like 3 months. So I'm going to review the performance of this guy. How is he performing? Is it based on what he had indicated on the CV? Or in this case, how is this person performing? Is he performing according to what you're expecting? So you're talking about what? Reviewing the decision that we had taken. So you'll find that at any given point in time, not only in leadership, but you'll find that in our day-to-day activities, we normally tend to make what? We normally tend to make decisions. And this question, I think, was tested in a pilot paper, which you're also going to look at a question whereby you were asked to give the process of decision making. It was tested in the pilot paper, leadership and management, because remember, this is a very new concept that has been brought. So basically, these are what you're required to do. So to that point, guys, thank you so much, and let us meet in the next session. Thank you.